I do want to bring up this picture from Rhaenyra because I thought this was actually a really good still.
Uh-huh.
Um,
There's several really good stills in that
I
trailer,
agree.
man.
I agree. So this was kind of how this kind of what is it called? It was really telling what looking at this still and this looking at this photo amongst everything that's going on, all the war, all the the treachery, the backstabbing inside Westeros. Rhaenyra is sitting there playing with her kids, being a mother,
Yeah.
and I thought this was a powerful picture because of what she's going through right now. Her son just died. Everyone's against her. She doesn't know who's with her, who's against.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But this picture shows that she still has time to sit with her kids, play with their kids, make sure her kids are looking out for her. And the thing is, they're not being taught how to fight. Even at this age, they're not being taught. They don't have a sword in their hand.
Yeah.
They don't have books in their hands. They're playing like children, like they're supposed to. And I thought this was a powerful picture. But what do you think?
I mean, first of all, let me just shout out to the DP on this. I mean, look, and the production design. Like this could be you could take this and tell me that it was a medieval painting and I'd be like, yeah, and it's legit, right? So I mean like you've got like look at the light sources, like you've got the light source, like this is clearly coming from the windows. The darkness in the back like sets it all off. And then you've got a light source going straight onto the kid's head that's closest to her, and then her visual cues are looking straight towards that kid. So like everything about this frame grab is basically suggesting that behind her is a bunch of darkness that is coming and closing in on her, and yet she's still looking towards her kids who are playing in the light with this impending doom behind her almost, right?
Exactly.
Like all that stuff is like visually stunning. So the fact that they're getting that nailed down like this, I mean, every single shot of that trailer, like the from the camera positioning, from the way that the action is moving. I mean, like there's a shot of the knight who is galloping into the forest, and you're just like, I don't know where he's going. We don't know what's in the forest. All that we don't know if he's running from somebody or going to fight somebody, but all of that suspense is like, oh man, I got to see what happens. Like I got to know what happens at the end of this scene.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just phenomenal, man. I mean, talk about a talented group of people making a TV show.
Exactly. Ryan Condal's been great so far, and he's such a great director. But it shows that they put effort into these kind of these little situations.
Yeah,
like you said, the story behind how you were portraying that picture I showed you.
Yeah.
Not many people think of it like that.
Right.
But that's pretty much what it is. That's what you saw. That's what I was seeing as you were explaining to me. Like, it's crazy. This on the right is Eddard Stark, and this is Lucerys. Lucerys. But Eddard Stark is, or not Eddard Stark, it's Cregan Stark. He is the Lord of Winterfell. But if you notice on his back, do you notice what that is?
That's the same sword that Eddard had, right?
Exactly. Yeah. This is the ancestral sword called Ice that Eddard Stark had in Game of Thrones of season 1. And it looks like Cregan Stark wielded it before Eddard did. So I thought this is a cool little, little thing that they put in, a little Easter egg that they put in there. And I love that detail, man. I love that little detail. Yeah. It's so dope.
So dope. And it's actually in very much alignment with the books. Like the books are even more into that stuff than the show, but like the show does it without telling you it's doing it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's just awesome.
Exactly. All right. So the last thing on the agenda, we have a pretty big surprise because we didn't get this information until after season 1. And I thought this was a very cool thing to hear, but it is official. House of the Dragon showrunner Ryan Condal confirms they are deep into writing season 3, and it looks like it's already like almost, I don't want to say it's almost done, I don't know for sure, but they came out with news that before the trailer dropped for season 2 that they were meeting with all the showrunners or all the directors and all the producers of what's going on with season 3. And it looks like they started writing right before that for the show. Awesome. But this is, I thought this was an amazing news. Like I said, we didn't get this news until after season 2 was even like done. that
Yeah.
season 1 was even done before they even told us that they were writing season 2. So they're already writing season 3, and the season 2 hasn't even dropped yet.
It's
So
awesome.
I thought I should tell you guys. I thought it was a cool little surprise for all of us because of the last trailer that they dropped today. What's your overall, thoughts about the trailer? What you're looking forward to in season 2, and so on.
I think that the trailers all combined have given us the perfect amount of information to get excited about the show, but not to know exactly how the show is going to go. Meaning that, like, we knew that Allison and her family and Rhaenyra and her family were going to go head to head. Like, they told us that. That's the green versus black. What we didn't know is that we don't know where's the sea snake going to hang out. Where is her aunt, Rhaenyra, or what's her name? What's her aunt's name? Rhaenys. What's her aunt gonna do? Right? There's that one shot where I think it's Damon talking, like, pulls her aside, kind of like what's going on there, right? Like,
Yeah.
she's one of my favorite characters, by the way. The aunt.
Me too.
And then you've also got the shots of the kids, plus you've got the shot of the lady who said there isn't just one way to fight a war. Which after that, there's a few shots of like what it looks like there's like bribery happening and some other like just really quick shots of things. And that harkens back to, like, what's his name? Baelish, right? Like Peter Baelish and like the spider, what's his name? The spider guy. I can't remember his name. The guy with the shaved head. Like all of those things were like the espionage of the realm and stuff like that, right? So like, and that stuff is really cool to add in, because those are like the kind of layers that Game of Thrones has, where you're not just getting like a medieval war drama, you know what I mean? Like, you're getting all this other stuff that's weaved in, that's how humans actually behave.
Exactly.
So I'm pretty hyped for it, man. Like, I would say so. I love The Gentleman this year. I thought it was awesome. It's probably one of my favorite shows, probably of 2024 easily. I loved Fallout. But I mean, come on, House of the Dragon's got to be in the top shows. It's already, to me, a top show, and all I've seen is trailers.
I will say this: that you know how much I love Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. That goes without being said. But I will say, if House of the Dragon isn't just blows our mind, Shogun will top House of the Dragon for best show of the year. Oh, Shogun was phenomenal, Jay. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I've seen it. Okay, so here's the thing. We need to do a separate show on Shogun.
Okay, I'm down.
Because I felt like Shogun was always toying with being amazing, and it never quite got there. Okay. So I want to hear your thoughts, but I'll share why. We'll do another show. But there was some specific reasons why it didn't reach that height for me. But I did watch it all, and it was really well done. It's just that I realized afterwards that the books made it the way that it is, and it bummed me out a little bit. So we'll talk about that.
Okay. Yeah. And you do know they officially have a season 2 on its way, right?
I didn't know, because the last I had heard, the creator of that show said, because there's a whole book series, but it jumps from like time period to time period. Doesn't stay the same. So I know that they were talking about like following up that time frame, but that's
cool. From what I heard, I can go into a whole nother episode, like you said.
Yeah.
And we will do that episode. But from what I heard, the season was so good, and they went in thinking one and done. It's just going to be one season. We're not going to do any more. But apparently, it was so good to its viewers and its the viewership and everything else that they almost had, like, they were bullied into making a season 2. Like, that's how much people loved it. But like I said, we'll make sure you guys follow for that episode as well. Yeah, but if you had to rate this from a 1 to 10, what would you give it?
Oh, from a trailer perspective. So here's my feeling about trailers. Everyone always wants to predict what's going to happen in the show about trailers. This is why I like coming on with you to talk about trailers, because we're not trying to predict the beats or the plot of the show. We're just trying to predict, like, what could people be up to? Like, what are they showing us in the trailer? And I don't like to predict, because it puts me in a place of trying to come up with a storyline that I think the storytellers have already done. So why do I need to do it, right?
Exactly.
But if you're so for me, the trailer is predominantly a piece of marketing that gets me excited about watching the show. And this has done that 10 out of 10. I would
Yeah.
say it's perfect. Like this trailer, even more so than the last one, because the last one, it was kind of like, yeah, okay, that's kind of what I predicted would happen, like green versus black. That makes sense.
Yeah.
This one, it says you think it's green versus black, but look at the layers of this thing and how crazy
Exactly.
this is, and look how much time we spent filming amazing content and like getting the shots perfect, and that to me hypes me up a lot. So that's kind of my take. 10 out of 10.
And it's beautiful you said that, because there was two things that we got the green versus black, those two trailers, you know, black is against green, and vice versa. But in this trailer we got Amon, he said Allison loves her enemies, and that's what makes her weak, or you know, I'm paraphrasing here, but he said that about his mom. And then Rhaenyra says, do you even accept me as your queen? So we're getting a lot of, you know, conflict there within these teams.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
and this is within a trailer. And
Exactly.
that's why I'm giving it the same thing. I thought it was a 9.5. I don't want to give it a perfect score, but it was a great trailer because of those things we're getting from you know, it is black versus green, but yet they're still fighting within each, you know, each other's team. And I think that's why this show is going to be so great, is because we're not just getting a straightforward black versus green, just all out war. We're getting, you know, the political side of it that we got in season 1, get a little bit more in season 2. We're going to get the action that we wanted from season 1. We're getting more dragons. I mean, who doesn't want more dragons? But then we all are also getting the war within the teams. And I think that's going to be just fantastic. And I cannot wait.
Yeah. And I know this is a season 2, but I remember watching the trailer for Fallout, because I never played the Fallout games. And I remember thinking, like, I don't know if this show is going to be any good. Like, and I love the show. I love Fallout. That was a fantastic show. But like the trailers they sort of gave me a feeling for what the show could be like, but it was just too like abstract. I would give the trailers for that show like a 7. It's like, I'll try it because I know people like Fallout, and I'm like, and I love Walter Goggins, and this like concept that seems cool to me. But Game of Thrones, it's like, this is what you expect, this is what you are going to get, and this is the things you didn't expect that we're also going to throw in there and pepper in there, but we're not going to tell you exactly how this goes down. Like, that to me is like, man, that's perfect. That's a perfect trailer.
Yep. And I agree. And the Fallout, I kind of, now that you say it, make sure you guys go watch that episode. We broke down the Fallout show, but X, who joins me, he's joined us on a couple episodes, but X, I watched that whole series when I was over his house. It dropped, and I didn't play the games either, but he was there to explain the little details that I didn't get. Like there was a head on the ground, or there was this weapon that he used that they used in the game because he played the games. So you were right though. When I initially watched the trailer, because I didn't watch or play the games, I went in with the same mindset. I was like, okay, this looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But once I seen the movie, and then I got the little details explained to me, man. That show was top notch, dude.
Yeah.
Top
Great.
fucking notch.
Yeah. Awesome.
But yeah, thank you, Jay, for joining me. I appreciate it. June 16th is when the episode 1 drops. So make sure you guys are following with notifications on, because we are going to be doing every show. We're going to be breaking down each show. Also, we're going to be doing live reactions to the episodes. We're not going to do a full episode, but we're going to do, big scenes within the episodes and get our facial reactions, our expressions. So if you guys are interested, make sure you guys are following. But Jay, please tell the people where they can find you on social media and what you got going on.
Yeah, you can check me out over at How Stories Work on YouTube, where I just talk about how stories work, what people put into them, how they work. I explain stories that are maybe a little bit more complicated, and if maybe you miss some things that happen in them. So How Stories Work is for all that. You can also find me on YouTube on the Orange Grove 55 channel. On that channel, I have a show called The Story Geeks, where we're doing kind of like what Tones and I are doing here, just kind of breaking down a bigger story. In fact, the last one that we did, you can go look for it, Orange Grove 55, and then type in Deadpool, because we, with this guy here, we did a whole breakdown of the Deadpool film and what it means for the MCU, and whether or not the MCU should have R-rated movies or not have R-rated movies. All of that and more over on Orange Grove 55, and also on How Stories Work with Jay Sherer, both those two channels. Check them out.
Yes, sir. And I'll have everything in the description below. Make sure you guys go follow him on Instagram or Instagram or Twitter as well. He has a short film coming out called No Vacancy.
Yes.
So make sure you guys go check that out as well. Comment and let us know what you guys thought about the trailer. Let us know if we sound dumb or not while we talk about House of the Dragon. But like the video, and if you guys want to follow me on social media, Tones_TV on all platforms. And don't forget to follow the podcast that Camper and I do, Bad Thoughts Podcast. All right. Hope you guys have a great night. Love y'all.